Radio address yesterday, Mr Modi described the storming of the Red Fort in New Delhi as an insult to the Indian flag. Tens of thousands of farmers have been camped in the capital in protest to new agricultural laws that they say favour private buyers at the expense of small growers. Well, for more, let's cross live now to Neha Punia in New Delhi. Good evening, Neha. After 2 months of civil unrest, protesters are showing no sign of backing down. So where do they go to from here?
Well, Janice, after last week's violence, protesters have made a concerted effort to keep their demonstrations peaceful. But despite that, the situation in Delhi remains very, very tense. Security at the three main protest sites has been significantly hiked. You've got thousands of policemen in riot gear facing off for these protesters. The roads leading up to the protest sites have been dug up as well, and protesters have been barricaded in. Internet services have been shut down as well, and amid worries that this protest could be broken up by force, farmers are asking more people to join them. Thousands are now marching to Delhi to bolster the numbers, and this is expected to be another show of strength. Farmers held a hunger strike over the weekend. They say they will hold talks with the government, but if those protesters arrested last week following the Republic Day violence are released. So the plan right now seems to be to stay put, to keep protesting and not lose momentum at all.
And Neha, Prime Minister Modi lashed out at the protesters in his latest remarks. So just how is this issue playing out for Mr Modi and his ruling party?
While he did criticize the violence we saw last week, he's also at the same time, Janice, reached out to protesters, reminding them once again that despite a dozen rounds of talks failing, his government is still willing to negotiate with these farmers. He's offered to put these laws in suspension for a year and a half and said that his agriculture minister is just a phone call away. And this duality in the Prime Minister's approach really tells you what the problem here is. This is the longest and the largest protest that Prime Minister Modi has faced since winning two back-to-back elections, the latest one being in 2019. Farmers make up a very crucial vote bank. They represent more than 50% of the country's population, and every single day that these farmers continue to camp out there in what has been the coldest winter in North India, there's anger building, and the Prime Minister doing his best to address some of that through his speech.